You know, you probably know Ozzy Osbourne, right? Like the Prince of Darkness,
Yeah.
the bat-biting metal legend, maybe even just the reality TV dad.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it about Ozzy that makes him such a, well, I guess you could say enduring figure? You know, someone who can transcend genres and generations.
Yeah.
So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack his journey,
Okay.
from Birmingham to the global stage, and look at his musical evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess examine those iconic moments that really helped make him a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
See if we can answer that question along the way.
It's a fascinating question because Ozzy's story is one of constant reinvention. But there's a core authenticity that resonates with people, even when it's pushing boundaries, defying expectations.
Yeah. To understand Ozzy, we need to go back to his beginnings. He grew up working class in Birmingham, England, dropped out of school young, bounced between odd jobs, even did some time in prison. Seems like from the start he was searching for something more.
Absolutely. Birmingham in the late 60s was this gritty industrial city.
Mm.
It was the perfect breeding ground for a new sound, a way to express that feeling of discontent and just yearning for something different.
And that's where Black Sabbath comes in.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about the band's formation?
Well, Ozzy joined forces with Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward.
Okay.
They started out as Earth, but quickly realized another band already had that name.
Oh.
So they stumbled across a Boris Karloff movie. It was called Black Sabbath, and they liked the idea of music that could evoke a similar sense of dread and darkness.
So they weren't just going for shock value. They were trying to create a specific mood with their music.
Exactly. And they tapped into something powerful. Their self-titled debut album in 1970 was unlike anything else at the time. It was heavy, ominous, rooted in the blues, but with this amplified intensity that became the hallmark of heavy metal.
Okay. So what really made Black Sabbath stand out from the other, I guess you could say, blues-influenced rock bands of that era?
I think it was the combination of several factors. Tony Iommi's detuned guitar riffs created this incredibly heavy, almost menacing sound. Geezer Butler's lyrics delved into darker themes like war, social unrest, and the occult. And then you had Ozzy's unique vocal style.
Right.
That blend of power and vulnerability gave their music an emotional depth that transcended just being loud and aggressive.
So audiences responded to that immediately. Black Sabbath quickly rose to fame.
They did. Their first album went platinum, and they were selling out stadiums within a couple of years. But that rapid ascent came with its own set of challenges.
Yeah, because as their fame grew, so did the internal tensions within the band. Ozzy's struggles with substance abuse became more public, and there were growing creative differences.
It's a common story for bands that experience that level of success so quickly.
Yeah.
The pressure, the lifestyle, it can be overwhelming. In 1978, after years of escalating conflicts, Ozzy left Black Sabbath.
It must have been a difficult time for him, dealing with the fallout of the band's breakup, a divorce, and personal struggles.
It was. He went through a period of deep despair, questioning his future, unsure of what to do next. But then a pivotal moment happened. He met Sharon Arden, who became his wife and manager.
Okay. So this is where Sharon steps in and helps him navigate that difficult period and launch his solo career.
She was instrumental in getting him back on track. She saw his talent, believed in his potential, and helped him channel his energy into writing new music.
So that leads us to 1980 and the release of Blizzard of Oz, his first solo album.
Which, of course, was a massive success.
Yeah, but why, though? I mean, Blizzard of Oz came just 2 years after his, I guess, pretty messy departure from Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
What was it about this album that resonated so strongly with audiences?
It had a raw energy, a sense of urgency that captured people's attention. But it also showcased Ozzy's growth as a songwriter and performer. The songs were more personal, exploring themes of isolation, addiction, and the search for meaning. And then there was the incredible guitar work of Randy Rhoads.
Oh yeah, Randy Rhoads. His contributions to Blizzard of Oz and Ozzy's sound can't be overstated.
Absolutely. Randy brought a virtuosity and a melodic sensibility to Ozzy's music that was truly unique. His solos on songs like Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley weren't just shredding, they were melodic, emotive, and became iconic in their own right.
Speaking of Crazy Train, that song became an instant anthem. It's hard to imagine a time when people didn't know that riff.
It's a testament to the power of a great song.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to consider how that song connected to Ozzy's departure from Black Sabbath. He was literally and figuratively on this crazy train, navigating this new phase of his life and career.
And it's around this time that the infamous bat-biting incident takes place. During a concert, Ozzy, thinking it was a rubber toy, bites the head off of a live bat.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to ask, did this incident, as shocking as it was, contribute to his Prince of Darkness persona?
It definitely added to the mythology surrounding him.
But was it intentional?
Well, that's debatable. Ozzy has said he didn't know it was a real bat. And looking back, it seems more like a bizarre accident fueled by the chaos of the moment. But it undoubtedly played into the image he had cultivated. Whether intentionally or not, it became part of the Ozzy legend, for better or for worse.
Yeah, it definitely did. And it's interesting how that one incident became so intertwined with his image.
Right.
Speaks to the power of those shocking moments. How they can almost become larger than the artists themselves.
But as much as Ozzy embraced that Prince of Darkness image, his music revealed a different side. His 1991 album No More Tears had a more, I guess you could say, introspective feel. And Mama, I'm Coming Home became his first solo top 40 hit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That song showed a vulnerability, a longing for connection that resonated with people on a different level, proved he wasn't just about shock value. He could write songs that touched people's hearts.
And then in 1993, he wins a Grammy for I Don't Want to Change the World.
A live performance, no less.
Oh, wow. It showed that beyond the theatrics, there was genuine musical talent being recognized by the industry.
It seems like there was always this push and pull between the wild, unpredictable Ozzy and the artist who was capable of creating these deeply personal, even emotional songs.
Absolutely. And I think that duality is part of what makes him so fascinating.
Yeah.
He never fit neatly into any one box. He was this heavy metal icon who could also write ballads that resonated with mainstream audiences.
And then in 1996, he launches Ozzfest.
Yeah.
This wasn't just a concert, it became a concertual phenomenon. So what was the impact of Ozzfest on the heavy metal scene?
It was huge. At a time when heavy metal was struggling to find mainstream acceptance, Ozzfest provided a platform for a whole new wave of bands, gave them exposure, a chance to connect with fans, and it really helped to revitalize the genre.
So it wasn't just about Ozzy, it was about supporting the future of heavy metal.
Precisely. He was using his platform to shine a light on other artists to ensure that the music that he loved would continue to thrive. And it's interesting to note that this happened while he was also reuniting with Black Sabbath for a series of tours.
So he's embracing his past while also looking to the future.
Exactly.
Those Black Sabbath reunions were incredibly successful. They even won another Grammy in 1999 for a live version of Iron Man, a song originally released in 1970.
Talk about a full circle moment. It shows that even after all the years, the ups and downs, that core sound they created still had the power to connect with audiences.
But then in the early 2000s, something unexpected happens. Reality TV's exploding in popularity. And who steps into the spotlight?
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne. The Osbournes premieres on MTV and becomes a massive hit.
It was a stroke of genius, really. No one expected this heavy metal icon to open up his heart and his family life to the world in such a raw, unfiltered way.
People saw a different side of Ozzy. He wasn't just the Prince of Darkness. He was a husband, a father, dealing with the everyday chaos of family life.
And he did it with humor and self-awareness. The show didn't shy away from their dysfunction, but it also showed their love for each other. It was relatable even in its absurdity.
It challenged the perception of what a celebrity family could be.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to present this perfect image. They were just being themselves, warts and all.
And audiences responded to that authenticity.
Yeah.
The Osbournes ran for 4 seasons, won an Emmy Award, and made Ozzy and his family household names in a way that transcended his music career.
It's interesting to think about the impact of the Osbournes. Did it humanize Ozzy, or did it further solidify this carefully constructed persona?
That's a great question. I think it was a bit of both.
Okay.
It allowed people to see him in a different light, to connect with him on a more personal level. But it also played into his image as this larger-than-life character, someone who embraced the unconventional and wasn't afraid to poke fun at himself.
So even in this seemingly unscripted reality TV setting, he was still, in a way, controlling the narrative.
To a certain extent, yes. But I think there was also genuine vulnerability there. You saw moments of frustration, tenderness, and even fear.
The Osbournes opened up a whole new chapter in Ozzy's career. He became this pop culture icon, appearing in movies, lending his voice to animated films, and even hosting paranormal investigation shows.
It's remarkable how he's managed to navigate these different worlds, from heavy metal to reality TV to the paranormal.
And all while continuing to make music.
Right. In 2006, both Ozzy and Black Sabbath were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What a testament to his enduring legacy.
And despite health setbacks, he continued to release solo albums well into the 2010s and 2020s.
In 2022, he won the Grammy for Best Rock Album for Patient Number 9. That's incredible for an artist so late in his career.
It is, and it shows that he never lost his passion for music. He continued to push himself creatively, collaborating with new artists, experimenting with different sounds.
So after decades of pushing boundaries, defying expectations, and constantly reinventing himself, Ozzy finally announced his retirement from touring in 2023.
It was a bittersweet moment for fans, but it also felt like a fitting end to an extraordinary career.
He left an undeniable mark on music and popular culture. He influenced countless artists, inspired generations of fans, and proves that you can be both a heavy metal icon and a beloved reality TV dad.
He's a true original.
And I think that's ultimately what makes him so fascinating. He never tried to fit in, he never compromised his vision, and he always stayed true to himself, even when it meant being unpredictable, outrageous, and sometimes downright bizarre.
He really is. Ozzy Osbourne is a testament to the power of individuality and the enduring spirit of rock and roll.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From his working-class beginnings in Birmingham to the formation of Black Sabbath, his wild solo career, the unexpected success of the Osbournes, and his lasting impact on music and popular culture.
It's been quite a journey. And it all leads back to that question we posed at the beginning.
Right.
What is it about Ozzy that allows him to transcend genres and generations?
Yeah, we've seen how his music has resonated with people for over 5 decades. We've explored the evolution of his persona, from the Prince of Darkness to the relatable family man.
We've examined his ability to constantly reinvent himself, to embrace new opportunities, and to connect with audiences on multiple levels.
So after all this, what's the answer? What is it about Ozzy that makes him such an enduring figure?
I think it's a combination of factors. There's the music, of course. Those heavy riffs, the dark lyrics, the powerful vocals. They created a sound that was both unique and undeniably captivating.
But goes beyond just the music. There's something about his personality, his willingness to be vulnerable, to make mistakes, to laugh at himself, that resonates with people.
He's not afraid to be himself, flaws and all. And in a world where everything feels so polished and manufactured, that authenticity is refreshing.
It is. He's a reminder that it's okay to be different, to embrace the chaos, and to never take yourself too seriously.
He's also a testament to the power of resilience. He's faced his share of challenges, addiction, health issues, personal setbacks, but he's always come back stronger.
He never gave up on his passion, never stopped creating, and never lost his sense of humor.
And that's inspiring. Ozzy's story shows that you can overcome adversity, that you can achieve your dreams even when the odds are stacked against you.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Ozzy Osbourne, I think we can say that his enduring appeal lies in the fact that he is, in many ways, a contradiction. He's the heavy metal icon who loves his dogs and enjoys a good cup of tea.
Right.
He's the Prince of Darkness who showed the world his family life on reality TV. He's the artist who embraced both the darkness and the light, and in doing so created a legacy that continues to inspire and entertain millions around the world.
Well said. Ozzy Osbourne is a true original, a force of nature, and an undeniable legend. And his impact on music and popular culture will be felt for generations to come.
So there you have it. That's our deep dive into the life and legacy of Ozzy Osbourne. What are your takeaways? What resonated with you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.